Before voicings, we should know about the classification of voicings, and we all know that the voicings has two parts. That means active voice and passive voice. Dear audience, welcome to my Facebook page and YouTube channel Solo Shiki. Today I will discuss about voicings, and before voicings we should know about the classification of voicings, and we all know that the voicings has two parts. That means active voice and passive voice. To clarify the topics more easily, that we will discuss about the definition of active voice and passive voice. What is active voice? Active voice is the sentence in which the subject completes the work by himself directly. And then if we find the definition of passive voice, we know that the passive voice is the sentence in which the subject does not complete the work directly. So now I will show you a sentence. He eats rice. In the sentence we can see that this is subject and then verb and then object. The subject complete his action directly. He eats. Who eats? He eats. And then we also see that the object of the sentence is rice. What does he eat? What does he eat? Rice. That means rice is the object of the sentence. If we find or if we see a structure of passive voice, we can see that the object of the active voice will be the subject of the passive voice. That means object will be subject, and then according to the tense, an auxiliary verb will be applied here. So auxiliary verb, that auxiliary verb must be used according to the tense of the active voice, and then verb past participle form. The base form or principal verb of the active voice will be applied here. The verb with past participle form, and then preposition by will be added, and end you must use the object of subject, object. Now I will apply the active voice for passive voice according to the structure. So as the object will be subject, that means the object of the active voice will be the subject of the passive voice, rice. And this is the verb, and this verb indicates that the sentence is present indefinite tense. If we find the sentence is present indefinite tense, you can use the auxiliary verb am, is, are according to the subject of passive voice. That means rice is the third person singular number, so you can use here is. Now I will apply the principal verb, that means it eat here The it is the principal verb of the active voice. So the principal verb it will be applied the structure verb past participle form, that means eaten, and a preposition by will be added here by. Now I will added he. The subject of the active voice will be object of the passive voice, that means him. Dear viewers, when we change from active voice to passive voice, we must remember that according to the active voice or the tense of active voice, you must use a auxiliary verb in passive voice. Here we can see there another sentence that is active voice. Here when we change from active voice to passive voice, first of all we should take the object of the active voice, that means a basket. A basket is the object of the active voice. So when we change it passive voice, we take the objective case in the passive voice as a subjective case. And now we see here makes. That means makes is the verb which consists of present indefinite tense. For this reason, you can use here am, is or are as auxiliary verb. As the basket is the third person singular number, so you can use here is as an auxiliary verb. Is. A basket is. Now I will apply the past participle form of the main verb, that means made, and then by as the preposition, and at the end of the passive voice you must use the subjective case of objective form here, her. The complete passive voice is a basket is made by her. Dear audience, now I will show you a different one, that means I helped him. This is the active voice. But if we find here that the sentence is past indefinite tense, when a sentence may be different tense, you must take the different auxiliary verb. So when you complete it for passive voice or change it from active voice to passive voice, you can take the objective case or object of the active voice as a subject of the passive voice, he. According to the tense of the sentence, you must use here past auxiliary verb, that means was or were. As the subject is third person singular number, you can use here was. Now I will add here the principal verb and the past participle form of the principal verb, help. Now add as a preposition, and then at the last of the passive voice you can use the objective case of subject, that means me. The complete passive voice is he was helped by me. I think the voice sense or the basic rules of voice sense may be clear to my audience. Thank you everyone.